If you don't know who I am, my name is Matthew Hilton. I am the owner of Dynasty Wrestling, the promoter, booker, the whole nine yards. And tonight, December 31st, 2023, we are holding the very first Dynasty Awards ceremony. As you can see, right back there, it says Dynasty Awards. This is the first time we're doing the ceremony. We've had Dynasty Awards before, but never in a ceremony. So this should be a nice little time. This award show is to dedicate to all the wrestlers that have come through Dynasty this year and everyone that has done their job, putting on some of the best matches, some of the best performances, some of the best years. We don't do the worst of, we just do the best of, because we want to award those that have done the hard work to carry this company throughout 2023. Without further ado, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time, but I do want to thank you guys. This year I was able to finally make Dynasty its own channel separate from my main channel, which will continue to be gaming and all that. This is the first award show. I am stoked. We have a whole lot of awards to give out, and the fact that Dynasty is on its own channel says a lot. So thank you for all the support. Without further ado, let's get into some stats. Now, if you look to the side, this side, these are the stats we have had this year, whether it be shows, matches, all that. Obviously, we got to acknowledge the fact that we did 179 shows this year. I'm pretty sure that's we beat last year's. And also, in terms of all the matches, we have had over 638 singles matches, meaning 638 of these matches have been one-on-one, mano-y-mano, We have had 182 tag team matches, meaning two teams duking it out, whether it be 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, whatever. Hell, war games, all-out war. That's how many tag matches we've had this year. And then we get to multi-man matches, multi-person matches, whether it been triple threats, 4-ways, 5-ways, 6-ways, demolition derbies, battle royals. We've had a total of 24. 24. Now, obviously, our total 5-star matches went down from last year, as this year we've only had 92. Meaning we've had like a 5-star match every how many shows? Now, obviously, last year, if you knew, and we did the stats, it came out to 115 shows last year and 115 singles matches, meaning there was a 5-star in every show, like once every show. Total of title matches, as obviously you see at the bottom here, is our total matches. However, 105 of those have been championship matches. 105. Wow. 105 title matches. That is insane. And also, out of them, we've had 41 championship reigns in all of 2023. From the beginning of 2023 till the end. Holy crap. This is amazing. Not only that, but our total matches in 2023 come down to 844. If you add the singles, tag, and multi-person matches, we have 844 total matches. Did I struggle putting this together? Yes, I actually did. I had to go back and basically look at the results of every show just to count how many matches we had. That's what I had to do. And it came down to a total of 844 matches in general. So, Jesus Christ. We had one hell of a year, haven't we? Now, obviously, you might be wondering what's next to talk about. Well, up next, what we're going to talk about is our dojo graduates that we have had this year. Obviously, we have had a bunch of people graduate from the dojo this year. This is our list of dojo graduates in 2023. Obviously, we're going to start from the top and work our way to the next row. We got Nikki Sutton. We got Max Bryant Jr., the current Dynasty Women's World Champion, Jen Bardsley. By the way, Max Bryant Jr. will be in the first main event of 2023 on Dynasty Extras on January 1st. Literally tomorrow, Max Bryant Jr. will be main eventing on Dynasty Extras with Derek Freeman. Hope you guys are into that. Also, having graduated from the dojo this year, we've had Drake Travis. We've had the likes of Tank Joseph, Blackjack Paxton, Brian Garrett, who is in contention for a hardcore title match against Corey King coming up soon. Blackjack Paxton's also in contention for a championship after winning 3 matches on extras. We have our dojo current world tag team champions, Jason Briggs, Clark Williams, the UK Dragons. Speaking of dragons, the entire United Dragons graduated from the dojo this year, as Johnny Wells brought them up. Isaac Hart, of course, our current Dynasty Junior Heavyweight Champion. He had one hell of a match against Amaya Suzuki at the Superman Finals. We have the likes of Alexandria, former dojo women's champion. We've had Takashi Nagata. Hell, Isaac Hart's holding 2 titles. He's holding the Dojo Zero G title too. We have Takashi Nagata. We've had El Diablo here. And then we get to over here, all the way over here. We got Juan Carlos and Omar Perez. 2 guys two luchadors who I am excited to see what happens with them in 2024. Juan Carlos had a strong end to 2023, despite debuting only in the Superman tournament. Omar also is no slouch. He had a good run in the Superman tournament as well, but we haven't seen much of him in a while. However, this coming Friday, it will be a triple threat, as El Vuelo will also be a part of this match for the Mexican qualifier for the 2024 World Cup. It'll be Juan Carlos, Omar Perez, and El Vuelo, a lucha triple threat match. El Vuelo coming into the main roster this year as well, after having held the Dojo World title, debuted as basically a surprise opponent for Franco for the World Heavyweight title. Did not win that match against Franco, but hell, he put out one great performance. And of course, our final Dojo graduate of 2024 or 2023 is none other than the winner of the Andrew Boyd Sr. New Blood Tournament of 2023 and former Dojo Tag Team Champion, Wallace May. I can't wait. It looks like he's been having matches on Dynasty Wrestling World. He's had 2 already. He's got another one coming against James Blade. Hopefully, sometime in the future, he can be like one of our biggest stars. So those are our dojo graduates. I have high hopes for what we have this year. Now, obviously, our next thing we are going to talk about are our tournament winners from 2023. The guys that have won all of our tournaments here on this list. Call Your Shot was our first tournament we actually completed this year with Brett Cruz, LAW superstar, LAW megastar. Brett Cruz winning for LAW, getting himself an LAW championship match. He did not win the LAW championship after challenging, but he definitely had a good performance. You got the intergender tag tournament as James Blade and Samantha Taylor were able to pick up the win. They did not win either of their title opportunities, but they did win the intergender tag tournament. We will have it this year again. Every tournament we will have this year. The Super Duos, which was won by Johnny and Jordan the Grants. The father-son duo won the Super Duos this year at Fight Fest. They did not win their title opportunity, sadly. I would have loved them to have done that, but unfortunately, they got bested by the Union. We got the Superwoman winner, Jen Bardsley. Now, she did not win her initial championship opportunity. However, she was able to close 2023 on a fantastic note as Women's World Champion. She didn't win her initial opportunity, but she was able to win the title later on. Obviously, we got our Super Juniors winner, Johnny Gallius, now a two-time winner of the Super Juniors tournament, having won last year's tournament and being a back-to-back two-time winner of the tournament and becoming a four-time junior heavyweight champion as he went on to win the title as well. Meaning Johnny Gallius at this point is being given the award currently and the standing of best junior heavyweight in Dynasty history. I'm pretty sure that's fair to say. We got our King of the Death Match, Jay Travis, member of Best in the Universe. Best in the Universe had one hell of a year this year. Jay Travis only added to that with a King of the Death Match victory, beating Brian Garrett in the finals. He went by Brian Shaw earlier, but now he's going by Brian Garrett. Jay Travis could not win the hardcore title, sadly, but he did have one hell of a tournament. Then we get to the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Invitational, which was won by the Kingdom, Corey King and Zalik. This tournament was to crown the inaugural Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Corey King and Zalik had one hell of a time in this tournament. Corey King walking away with 2 titles in this tournament as he was hardcore champion by the time this tournament started. And he walked away with 2 titles once the tournament had ended. Obviously, they're no longer champions, but hell, let it be recognized they're the first champions. Then we get to the Alex Boyd Sr. Memorial Tournament, which was won by Isaac Hart, which would give him a junior heavyweight title opportunity, which he would win against Amaya Suzuki. Big ups for Isaac. Things are going his way. We love it. Andrew Boyd Sr. New Blood Tournament. Obviously, this was the father of Alex Sabin, is Alex Boyd Sr. This is the father of Drew Boyd, Andrew Boyd Sr. Won by, of course, the previously mentioned in the last part, Wallace May, who still has a lot to go. And then we got the Superman Tournament, our infamous, most famous tournament. Oh, I forgot the World Cup. I forgot to put the World Cup on here. The World Cup was won by Gavin Sabin. He won it, and he went on to win the World Championship. We cannot forget Gavin. I'm sorry. I almost forgot about Gavin. Oh, how could I forget? He won the world title. It was a major event anyway. So you couldn't forget, really. We got the Superman Tournament, which was won by RJ Smith in a heartbreaking... That was one of the most heartbreaking victories I've seen because I was really pulling for Nicholas to win it this year. Sadly, it could not happen. RJ ended up winning. That's that. We're going to get possibly, if Drew can retain against Gavin coming up on a future Dynasty Wrestling World, it will be RJ versus Drew, or it could be RJ versus Gavin for the world title at the World Cup 2024. So our next thing we are going to talk about are our championship standings. Now, obviously, we're going to go run down every championship that has been here on Dynasty this year. We're not starting with the World Heavyweight title. We're starting with the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, which are, yes, I counted every reign that has happened this year. The Kingdom were able to last 63 days with the titles before losing them to the Superfly Squad, who held them for 33 days before losing them right to the Golden Union. Nate Culver, CJ Kyle, who will start 2024 off as champions. That, I know. Obviously, our next championship we're going to take a look at is the Junior Heavyweight title, and we've had quite a few reigns. We've had quite a few. Anthony Perez started the year with 35 days as champion before losing it to Angel Dominguez, who went on to hold it for 62 days. Tyler Tyson went on to beat Angel, accomplish his destiny, hold it for 28 days before losing it to Derek Freeman, who would hold it for 63 days before losing it back to Anthony Perez, who would hold it for an extra 26 days, who would lose it to Johnny Gallius after he won the Super Juniors. Johnny wouldn't hold it that long this time, only holding it for 37 days before losing it back to Anthony Perez, who would hold it for another 63 days before Anthony Perez eventually lost it to Amaya Suzuki, who would hold it for 53 days before Isaac Hart would claim the title. And it will be entering 2024 with it. Obviously, the next title we're going to take a look at is none other than the Hardcore Championship. This is going to be our next title we look at because holy shit. Pardon my language, but holy shit. Yamamoto, OWW, LAW superstar, started the year as champion, only held it for 13 days though before losing it to Zalik. Zalik would hold it for 36 days before losing it back to Yamamoto, who would hold it for 63 days before losing it to Corey King in Corey King's first championship here in Dynasty. Corey King will lose it to James Blade, who would only hold it for 30 days before Corey would win it back and hold it for an astounding 122 days. A very good reign indeed, before he lose it to Aaron Boyd after having wrestled once prior at Fate of Champions, before at the Superman Finals winning the title back after Aaron Boyd only held it for 28 days. The next title, Corey King will be entering 2024 as Hardcore Champion. However, we will now take a look. Where is it? We will now take a look at the Legacy title. The Legacy title is a title where you can cash in and get a world championship opportunity. Alex Sabin had started the year as champion. Obviously, Alex only held it for 20 days, sadly, before Franco would dethrone him. Franco would hold it for the astounding 154 days, the longest in the championship's history. Franco would go on to vacate the title after he decided he was going to cash in option C. We'll get into that in a bit. Jaden Shadow would win the vacant title, hold it for only 63 days before losing it to Nate Jones in Nate Jones' big victory. He would hold it for 56 days before losing it at the Superman Finals to Killer Conan, who you see right over there. He will enter 2024 with it after winning the Christmas Chaos match, and what a match that was. Obviously, our next championship we will take a look at is the Women's World Championship. We have had quite a few women's world title reigns. Layla Siren started the year off as champion in her long title reign. However, her reign would end after 275 days from Fight Fest last year. She had held it until the very beginning of the year when Bad Amy would win the title, hold it for almost 100 days, just 1 day short, before losing it to Akira Kiyoshi, OWW wrestler. She would hold it for an alarming 189 days before losing it to Alice Sabin. Alice Sabin, of course, would hold it for 28 days in her third title reign before losing it to Jen Bardsley. Jen Bardsley currently resides as our champion and will enter 2024 with the championship. Our next title will be the World Tag Team titles, held currently by the UK Dragons. We're going to run down the list. Dead End started the year as champions, but they would only hold it for 13 days before losing it to the War Dogs of Aiden Boss and Big Joe. They would lose the titles back to Dead End, which are the Ghost and the Jester, before they would lose them for the final time to the Kingdom, Braden Torres and Rob King. Rob King and Braden Torres would start their big feud with the Union, who would beat them at Fight Fest and hold them for an astounding 152 days as World Tag Team Champions. Tony Everett and Jordan Rosa were champions for the bulk of the year before losing to the Blood Brothers, Cho Masuda and Yuri Nikita. For 65 days they remained champions before the UK Dragons came in and won those titles. They currently hold the titles and will enter 2024 with the titles. And now we get to our main title, the World Heavyweight Championship. What reigns we had here. Obviously, I started off as champion in my very, very longest title reign in history of Dynasty, with 341 days before I would sadly lose it to the bastard Gavin Sabin, the anti-hero as he calls himself. Gavin Sabin, who would hold it for 125 days before losing it to Franco in his option C. Franco would hold it for 120 days, have a bunch of great title defenses before losing it to the golden child of Dynasty, Drew Boyd, who currently holds it and I can't do anything about it. I just had a match on Friday against Jordan Rosa. I'm trying to get into this damn World Cup by any means necessary. This Friday, me and Nate Jones. Watch your back, Nate. I'm keeping my spot in this damn tournament. Drew Boyd will enter 2024 as World Heavyweight Champion. The first time he has ever held this title, despite being here for the start of Dynasty Wrestling in general. These are our championship standings. Obviously, world champion Drew Boyd, legacy champ Killer Conan, dynasty hardcore champ Corey King, world tag team champs the UK Dragons Clark Williams and Jason Briggs, the women's world champ Jen Bardsley, junior heavyweight champ Isaac Hart, and the junior heavyweight tag team champions the Golden Union, CJ Kyle and Nate Culver. Now, obviously, our next award is a award that's basically like a Hall of Fame. This is a Hall of Fame level award. It's called the Legendary Honors Award. This award is given to a wrestler in the EFED world who has had one hell of a career in EFEDs. Last year, the award was given to Max Bryant. Max Bryant was given the honor award last year. However, he has since, in my opinion, done whatever. He's gotten back in the ring. He's back to wrestling after receiving the honor award. So who better to give the Legendary Honor Award than to a certain individual who's been in this business for 35 years? A giant, if you will. In my opinion, I think he deserves it, especially with how he's been handling the backstage issues at Dynasty recently. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Legendary Honor Award, the current Dynasty Wrestling General Manager, John Barnett. Round of applause for John Barnett. In my opinion, he deserves it. He's done quite a lot. He's held the Global Japan title. He's held quite a few titles. The FFW championship. He's been all over the world. Dude deserves it. He's a giant. And I wouldn't mess with him. All right. Now what you guys been waiting for. The awards. The big awards. The end year awards that I'm pretty sure you all have been waiting for. We're going to start with shock return of the year. So, hold on, let me bring it up. The return of the year is a award that's given to basically the big returns that happened this year that people know, the ones people love, with the wrestlers that people love. The return of the year nominees go to either Drew Boyd for his return at Dynasty Reloaded 2023 after 6 months being suspended, attacking me from behind, giving me an AAB, and pissing me off. We also got Johnny Adrian at the Superman finals at the very end of the year, coming out to save his uncle who he has been torturing for months before, coming out to save his uncle Johnny Grant. Johnny Adrian's return to Dynasty falls on this. Also, my return at a recent last week's. My return was a big return. It was a big return, probably the biggest in Dynasty history. I have been gone since Summer Attraction, when Drew Boyd punted me in the skull after I lost the barbed wire death match to him. I'm still coming after you, Drew. Still am. Finally, RJ Smith, who returned on Dynasty Wrestling World March 25th to save Chaos, Christopher Lott, and Andrew Todd from the hands of the insiders, Angel Beretta, and Haku. He would have a match with Haku at Fight Fest in his in-ring return. However, would indeed betray Chaos. He would do that later that year. All right, without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, the award for Return of the Year goes to... Are you fucking serious? No, are you fucking serious? No, this is not a joke. You fucking kidding me? Return of the Year goes to Drew Boyd. Really, at my expense? At my expense. This is my goddamn show. This is my show. Whose idea was this? Whose idea? I don't think he deserves a single award. Fine. Congratulations, Drew Boyd, on being given Return of the Year. I don't want to talk about it too much. I still have bad memories from it. Up next, Feud of the Year. This is being given to the best feuds of 2023. Obviously, we have some incredible feuds that are right here. Let's start from the top. Andrew Todd versus RJ Smith. RJ Smith betrayed Andrew Todd and Chaos, going solo and feuding with his buddy Andrew. RJ would win this feud at the end of the day. And let's just say things have looked up for RJ ever since. Andrew, sadly, not so much. We got Drew Boyd versus me. We have had one hell of a feud that started last year. He came back. He came back. And we continued our feud with a trios victory for me and a one-on-one victory for him at Summer Attraction. We're picking that shit back up because I am not going to let you get the last laugh, Drew. I am not. Next up, Johnny Adrian versus Max Bryant. This feud started around Fight Fest. Max Bryant wanted a match at Fight Fest. He chose Johnny Adrian. Johnny Adrian initially did not want to give him the match because he thought Max was a loser. Because I beat Max in his return match, he's automatically a loser. Max Bryant would prove Johnny wrong by beating every member of the Ride or Die before getting to Johnny Adrian, where he would beat him at Fight Fest. They would be in a triple threat match for the world title against Gavin at Reloaded. They had another match on Dynasty Wrestling World where Max won. And then at Summer Attraction, Max put Johnny to the test to see if he can qualify for a match against Max. And then at Summer Attraction, it all ended with a big victory for Johnny Adrian. Next up, the Kingdom versus the Union. What a feud this was. This was our big interpromotional feud between Dynasty and OWW. The Kingdom and the Union, the two best tag teams probably of all time. We got the newly formed union of Jordan Rosa and Tony Everett versus the Kingdom. What matches these two teams brought out with each other? They had a match at Fight Fest where the Union won. They had a match at OWW where the Kingdom would become OWW Tag Team Champions. And then they would have a War Games match where the Kingdom would cut them out on top. And then, so far, the last match between the Kingdom and the Union, at least for right now, has been, well, I think it was Robert Cruz Zalik. Zalik won that. But also, let's not forget their great match at Heart and Soul, the 30-minute Iron Man match, where the Union were able to pick up the win and hold on to two sets of tag titles, both the Dynasty and OWW. Now, without further ado, the winner of Feud of the Year goes to... I think it deserves it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kingdom versus the Union. Big round of applause for these two teams for having Feud of the Year. Big deserve. Interpromotional rivalries for the win. What is our next award? Okay, so from what I'm being told, our next award is Betrayal of the Year. Now, this award is being given to the guy who betrayed people the most or who has betrayed anything, like their morals or anything else. Now, our nominees are Johnny Wells for attacking Ultimo Tiger from behind after a match at the Super Juniors. As a matter of fact, he didn't just attack him from behind. During the match, he brutalized Ultimo Tiger, which would lead to the 2 out of 3 falls match at Heart and Soul. Johnny Wells has since seemed to kind of go back his way to the fans. The fans are rooting for him now. But earlier this year, it wasn't looking like that. Then we got Nate Culver joining the Union. Some no one ever thought would happen. We thought Nate Culver had morals. We thought he had morals until he walked out at War Games in that Union jacket, confirming suspicions that he had joined the Union. Next up, we got Razorblade targeting the Grant family. Razorblade returned to Dynasty after losing at Demolition Derby in the Demolition Derby match for the world title. And for some reason, for some odd reason, he decided he was going to target the Grants. Basically, he did not has not had a good relationship with the Grants. They have been rivals for years, but we thought they had buried the hatchet. Unfortunately, Razorblade was not done and went after the Grants. It all ended, so it has not ended yet, this feud. This coming Friday, we will have a tag team match, as it will be Johnny Adrian and Johnny Grant taking on the Inferno of Razorblade and Matthew Storm. Also, RJ Smith betraying Andrew Todd. Longtime friends. The turn had happened years ago when Andrew Todd had turned his back on RJ. They would reunite to become tag team champions. As a matter of fact, they became 2-time tag team champions. But this year, after RJ returned from injury and after a match at Reloaded, which we thought was a brotherly battle, RJ showed his true colors and stabbed his best friend at the back. Now, who to give the betrayal of the year to? Drum roll. I said drum roll. The award goes to RJ Smith. I may have my problems with RJ, but I gotta admit, that was one surprising betrayal and one brutal attack. Our next award is Announcement of the Year. Announcement of the Year goes to the biggest announcements we have had this year, whether it be some of the big stuff or some of the little stuff. Obviously, we got our nominees here. Cameron Bash has left Dynasty. This happened way early. He did his speech and he left. And he went back to FAM as they were going to open the doors again. Dynasty moves to its very own YouTube channel, stepping away from my main channel, leaving it just for gaming, and going to its own channel to spread its wings. Franco cashes in Option C, being the first wrestler to do it, to cash in Option C and win the World Heavyweight Championship, being the first wrestler to do it. And then the retirement of the Global Japan Universal title, a title that has held so much prestige, but Max Bryant did not want the title being disrespected and hot potatoed. He made one last match between Young Ace and Nate Jones, where Nate Jones was crowned the final ever Global Japan Universal Champion. Now, obviously, pretty sure we all know what the winner of Announcement of the Year is. So I don't need to really look at the phone to see what wins. Ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to anyway. Winner of announcement of the year, Dynasty moves to its own YouTube channel. Big victory. I've never been more excited for the future of Dynasty now that it's on its very own YouTube channel. Never have been more excited. So, we are going to get into our next award, which is Performance of the Year, given to the wrestler who had the best performance in one match. I should probably be saying who won the award last year. Winner of the award last year. Hold on, let me. Shocking moment was me crossing the line last year. Feud of the year last year was Alex Sabin, Johnny Adrian. Announcement of the year was Dynasty cross LAW cross OWW partnership. Betrayal was me betraying my trust to the Boyd family. Performance of the year last year was given to Nate Culver for his performance in a match against moi. Performance of the year. Here are the nominees for this year's Performance of the Year. We got Brian Garrett's performance in the King of the Deathmatch, formerly known as Brian Shaw. His performance in King of the Deathmatch, him making it all the way to the finals. The Deathmatch tournament was his debut here in Dynasty, and he made it all the way to the finals where he sadly lost. But God, what a performance that was. He got Gavin Saban at the World Cup. Now, a lot of people expected him to win, I'm pretty sure. But his performance speaks for itself. Gavin is still pissed. I'm still pissed at him. Still pissed at him. Gavin had one hell of a tournament, went on to win it, and main event Fight Fest. Johnny Wells at Demolition Derby, entering the match at number 3. Entering at number 3 and going on to the final 2, where he eventually lost to Franco, but we all remember the blood-soaked face of Johnny Wells during that match. We all remember it. And the heart he put out there, basically turning face in the process. And then finally, Nicholas Boyd in the Superman tournament. It's so unfortunate he couldn't win. So unfortunate he couldn't win. Sadly, he could not win the whole thing, but what a performance. It's either with his whole by any means necessary tagline he was doing throughout that whole tournament. What a performance during that tournament Nicholas put on. The winner of Performance of the Year goes to I'm losing my voice. Johnny Wells at Demolition Derby. Oh, it says winner. I forgot. It says nominee. I forgot to type winner there. Shit. Whatever. He won it. So, big congratulations to Johnny Wells here on winning Performance of the Year. Our next award will be Moment of the Year. Last year's award went to Max Bryant announcing that he was cleared to compete. That was Moment of the Year last year. Now we're going to get into Moment of the Year this year, which holy shit, we've had a lot. We've had quite a bit. Here are the nominees. We got Drew Boyd finally winning the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career here in Dynasty. Franco becoming the first ever Grand Slam champion here in Dynasty by winning the world title. Gavin Saban dethroning High for the World Heavyweight Championship. Some no one thought would happen, which shouldn't have. And Max Bryant's return to the ring after what felt like 3 whole years retired. It was 3 whole years retired. Basically almost 3 years retired. We've had quite a lot of moments here in Dynasty this year. So many. These are the four nominees. The winner of moment of the year goes to, again at my expense. Again at my expense. Gavin Saban. Again at my expense. Who's writing all this? Reminder, I'm your boss. You fix this shit. Gavin wins. There you go. Next award is, ooh, this is a good award. Crossover Wrestler of the Year, whether it be from LAW or OWW. The winner of last year's award was Jay Lopez, but now we have quite the list right here of wrestlers who could win Crossover Wrestler of the Year. Let me move to the side so you can see them all. Obviously, going down the list, we got Akira Kiyoshi, who was women's world champion here in Dynasty for a bulk of the year. We got Haku, the owner of LAW, who opened Fight Fest. You got Katsuyori over here, who main evented Demolition Derby in the World Title Demolition Derby match and has challenged for the Global Japan title. Tony Everett, who was World Tag Team Champion this year here in Dynasty with him in the Union. Brett Cruz, who won the Call Your Shot tournament this year for LAW. We got OWW's Adam Albright, who had some great matches here and main evented Demolition Derby. Yamamoto, who was a two-time hardcore champion this year in Dynasty. And you got Ultimo Tigre, who has done quite a lot for Lucha Libre. Now, obviously, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Winner of Crossover of the Year, Crossover Wrestler of the Year, whether it be OWW or LAW, goes to Akira Kiyoshi. She was women's world champ for the bulk of the year. I mean, come on. Her reign started at Fight Fest and ended at Demolition Derby. Obvious winner here. Come on. Obvious. All right. Our next award that we have here tonight is Match of the Year. What could have been the match of the year? We've had so many fantastic matches. How could we basically just pick? Well, here we go. We have four right here. We got the World Championship Demolition Derby match. What a match that was. What a performance from Johnny Wells. What a defense for Franco. We have Gavin Saban versus me. I gave Gavin one of his best matches. Remember that. At Fight Fest. The Kingdom versus the Union at Fight Fest 2023. One of the best tag team matches in history. The drama, the emotion. Well, this match also had that. And then the Legacy Championship Christmas Chaos match at the Superman Finals. That was one beefy, big, meaty men slapping meat matches. One of the biggest big, meaty men matches in history. Where 5 big, meaty men slapped meat. But 1 big, meaty man walked out champion. That was Killer Conan, by the way. All right, so the winner of Match of the Year goes to... Oh, I should probably say who won last year, right? Who won last year? Winner of last year's was me versus Thomas Styles at Reloaded. That was the winner last year in our ladder match. Winner of this year's? The Union versus the Kingdom at Fight Fest. What a tag team wrestling match that was. Big congrats to both teams on winning Match of the Year at Fight Fest. Next award, Stable of the Year, Best Faction of the Year. We've had quite a lot of factions this year. A lot of them had some varying success. Let's run them down. Best in the Universe, which was Angel Dominguez, Franco, Jay Travis, Nate Jones, the Boyd family, Alex, Gavin, Thomas, Drew, Nicholas, Aaron. You got the Kingdom, Braden, Rob, Corey, Zalik, and you got the Union, the Golden Union, which here in Dynasty, it's Tony Everett, Jordan Rosa, Robert Cruz, CJ Kyle, Nate Culver. And then there's other subgroups of that stable in both LAW and OWW. That's how big the Union is. I know. It is fucking ridiculous, ain't it? Pardon my language. Anyway, the winner for last year's stable of the year was Ride or Die, which was Aaron Wheeler, Johnny Adrian, and the Lance brothers. This year, the winner of stable of the year are Best in the Universe for being what could have been one of the dumbest stables in history turned out to be one of the best. Big victory for this stable. Big victory. Our next award is Breakout Wrestler of the Year or Breakout Star. This award goes to the wrestler who broke out the best in 2023. Now, here are our nominees. We got Brian Garrett, big King of the Death match performance. Juan Carlos, Superman tournament performance. Jordan Rosa, World Tag Team Champion, and has had some big success. Omar Perez. Omar Perez, big Superman tournament performance. Jen Bardsley, Women's World Champion. And finally, Isaac Hart, Junior Heavyweight Champion. These are our 6 Breakout Star nominees. Last year's winner, before we get into this year's winner, last year's winner was Killer Conan. That was last year's winner. This year, the winner of Breakout Star of the Year goes to Jordan Rosa. He is really coming into his own, ain't it? He's really breaking in now. What a breakout performance this year this young man has had. Next up, Junior Heavyweight of the Year. We're getting to the nitty gritty, the final 4 awards we will be giving out. Junior Heavyweight of the Year. We've had quite a few junior heavyweights this year. Here are the 4 that broke out this year. We have Anthony Perez, who held the junior heavyweight title quite a lot this year. Johnny Gallius also held the title and became a 4-time champion, won the Super Juniors again, the whole 9 yards. Derek Freeman, who won the junior heavyweight title after a long journey to get there. And Corey King, though he did not win the junior heavyweight title, God damn it, he's king of the death match now, and he's a junior heavyweight, so got to put him in there. He's the king of flight. And he held the junior heavyweight tag titles. Don't forget that. Last year's winner of Junior Heavyweight of the Year was Johnny Gallius. He's nominated this year. The winner of the 2023 Junior Heavyweight of the Year goes to. Well, goddamn. Didn't do a whole lot this year, but what he did got him this award. For the second year in a row, Johnny Gallius is winner of this award for the second year in a row. He didn't do a whole lot this year. He won the Super Juniors and he won the Junior Heavyweight title again. I mean, that was enough to get him this award for the second. I think this means he truly is the greatest Junior Heavyweight in Dynasty history. The fact that he won this award 2 years running. Holy crap. Can he keep it up next year? Only time will tell. I feel like he might. 5-time champ? You guys want him as 5-time champ? Okay. Tag team of the year. We're getting there. Final 3 awards. Tag team of the year. We've had so many great tag teams. We've dumbed it down to 5. We've dumbed it down to 5. We have the Grants of, depending on which one you want, I guess. The Kingdom. Again, depending on which one you want. Which group you want. The UK Dragons of Clark Williams and Jason Briggs, who really came into their own at the very end when they debuted. The Union of Tony Everett and Jordan Rosa. And the guys that dethroned them, the Blood Brothers, Cho Masuda and Yuri Nikita, returning to their level of success that they long craved. The winner of last year's Tag Team of the Year was the Kingdom. They won last year. And they're nominated this year. Will they be 2-time running? Let's find out. You ready? The winner of the 2023 Tag Team of the Year award is, or the winners, the Union. I mean, they held the titles for the bulk of the year. I mean, you're going to get Tag Team of the Year. I mean, it's just a no-brainer here. Big W for the Union, winning Tag Team of the Year, having some of the best tag team matches Dynasty has ever seen. My voice hurts. It really does. Our next award will be given to Women's Wrestler of the Year. The women have had their fair share of success this year. Obviously, these are our nominees at the end of the day. You got Jen Bardsley, you got Akira Kiyoshi, you got Bad Amy, and you got Alice Sabin. All 4 of these women have held the women's world title this year. Now, before we announce this year's award, oh, that's right. We got to get in to who won last year. Layla Siren was last year's winner. She's not nominated this year. She didn't do a whole lot, sadly. She started the year as champion, but after she lost that title, we basically barely heard anything. The winner of Women's Wrestler of the Year goes to Akira Kiyoshi. The crossover wrestler of the year wins Women's Wrestler of the Year. That makes a whole lot of sense, I'm pretty sure. Big W for Akira Kiyoshi. Big W. Now, before we get into anything else, before we get into Male Wrestler of the Year, our main award, I want to say thank you guys. I really do. You guys mean a lot to me. Dynasty wouldn't be here without you guys. And the fact that I can keep going for basically the fact that I've gone this long, I've done Dynasty for 4 years. It's about to be five. Dynasty's almost been here for 5 years. 2024. We started in 2019. Dynasty is almost 5 years old. This is how far we've come. We've got our own YouTube channel. We have, and also starting next year, we're going to do feud recaps, recapping some of the best matches from feuds, whether it be, and our first one will be next month. It will be a recap of the match history for both Drew Boyd and RJ Smith. And for some of these matches, I'll be in like the little corner because I had the face cam and all that back in the day. To build up to Drew Boyd versus RJ Smith at the World Cup in February, there will be a video posted sometime in January recapping the entire rivalry match history, basically showing you guys the results of every match from that rivalry. Also, very soon, probably also next month, I will be posting old Dynasty shows, whether it be from the CAW days back in 2019 to stuff that was on the main channel. I'll be posting all that stuff on this channel. Obviously, some parts are going to cut out just to fit the time. But hey, I want to give you guys some of the best content you guys, the best I can, at least. Also, please subscribe to my main channel if you want to see me play video games and all that. Follow me on TikTok so that if you want to see me talk about movies, comics, and other stuff like games and stuff. If you want to see me be a nerd, go on TikTok. If you want to see me play video games, go on my main channel. And if you want to see the wrestling, the E-Fed, the Dynasty, stay here. Also, go subscribe to both LAW and OWW. They produce some of the best E-Fed content around, whether it be outside of like FAM, who've fallen off, let's face it. LAW and OWW are incredibly underrated. I feel like they need more attention than they get. So please go shout out to Haku, shout out to Tony. They run their shows. Haku runs LAW, Tony owns OWW. Shout out to them. Shout out to the guys like Monster Ball, who's created so many characters for Dynasty. He has done so much for Dynasty, actually. It's ridiculous how much he has done for Dynasty. Because without him, you wouldn't get to see some of the characters that you see, such as Alex Saban. You wouldn't get to see some characters like Adam Batista, characters like Gavin, Aaron Boyd, Mark Lopez, Andrew Todd. You wouldn't get to see these guys without Monster Ball. Also, shout out to Zombie PDW, who has given us characters like. Oh, Monster Ball's also made Franco and all the members of Best in the Universe, by the way. Zombie PDW for making the characters like the Grant family, Johnny Adrian, Ride or Die, Thomas Styles, Brian Garrett, Blackjack Paxton. He's created so many characters for Dynasty as well. And also another big thank you to Dynasty's creative consultant, Chirette Ichigo-sama, whatever he goes by. He likes to change his name sometimes. First, shout out to EJ for making the character RJ Smith. And Shout out to Ichigo Sama Tourette for making our current Dynasty world champion Drew Boyd, being well involved in the Boyd family stories and creating other characters like Nicholas, Amaya, um, Killer Conan, Elijah Wolf. You know, shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for being here. There's a lot more I can say. I'm very grateful for what we have done here with Dynasty. Very grateful. Without further ado, you guys want to get into Wrestler of the Year? All right. So we have quite a few nominees for Wrestler of the Year. You guys ready? Here we go. So, Male Wrestler of the Year, here are our nominees. You got the likes of Franco, Gavin Saban, Drew Boyd, myself, Johnny Adrian, RJ Smith, Jordan Rosa, Corey King. All of us have had hell of a year. Last year's winner was yours truly. I am losing my voice. I really am. I am trying, but I am losing it right now. My voice is shot. It really is. You guys ready? Wrestler of the Year goes to, drumroll please, Franco. I mean, when you're the first Dynasty Grand Slam champion in history and you've held a title for more than the year and you've held two titles and both your reigns basically like he went a whole 10 weeks without a title. The whole year he's held like a championship. So, I mean, and he became Grand Slam champion this year. It's a no-brainer. Franco is the wrestler of the year. Hands down. What an award show. Thank you guys for being here again. Here's your wrestler of the year. Here's to another year of Dynasty Wrestling. Hope you guys are ready. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Prepare for one hell of a 2024. Take care. Thank you for being here.